Hello friends, I hope all of you are doing well. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing the channel and liking the videos. Please share it with your friends also so that they can also subscribe and they can get the regular updates. So, we'll come back to the problems. Last class we discussed about theory part of the complex numbers, in which we discussed the rotation of complex numbers and the geometry of complex numbers. And we'd also discussed some problems from previous year IIT JEE papers. Today also in this small video we'll discuss some problems from previous year papers of IIT JEE. So first problem is it came in IIT 2016 advanced. This problem I have written on blackboard. Actually it is not a problem from rotation, it is a problem from geometry of complex numbers. So one thing we have to remember is, before starting this problem, whenever in geometry we do not have any idea that how to proceed, then in every problem we have the choice to put z equal to x plus iota y, and then compare real part with real part and compare imaginary part with imaginary part, and convert the given equation in complex form to the equation in Cartesian form. That option is always available. Always we can do this. We can replace z with x plus iota y and then convert the problem to the Cartesian equation. And all of us know how to solve a Cartesian equation. So in this problem, that thing also is given. They have given z is x plus iota y, and it is a multiple choice problem. We have to find what is the locus of x and y when certain conditions on a and b are given. And it is also given that a and b belongs to R, and it is also R means real number. It is also given that a square plus b square is not equal to 0. So a square plus b square is not equal to 0 means both cannot be 0 together. Individually they can be 0. A is 0, then b cannot be 0. B is 0, then a cannot be 0, because their square sum is not 0. Which can be 0 only when both are 0 together. So both cannot be 0 together. A set S is given which contains some complex numbers where Z is 1 by a plus iota bt, where t is a parameter. T is a parameter which is not equal to 0, which belongs to real number. All these things are given. Then we have to find the locus of x and y, where Z is x plus iota y. So one by one we will check the options, which one is correct and which one is not correct. To do this, certain conditions are given. Option A, if for A positive and B not equal to 0. So let us put this condition in the given problem. But before that, what is Z? Z is x plus iota y, and Z is also equal to 1 by a plus iota bt. Now we want the locus of x and y. To get the locus of x and y, left hand side is a complex number, right hand side is also a complex number. Two complex numbers are equal whenever real part is equal to real part and imaginary part is equal to imaginary part. But in the right hand side, we don't like this. We cannot tell what is the real part and what is the imaginary part. To find the real part and imaginary part, what we will do, we will multiply it with the conjugate of denominator and numerator and denominator both. Multiplying with same thing in numerator and denominator will not change the value of the right hand side. So multiplying with a minus iota bt and dividing with a minus iota bt. Then left hand side is as it is x plus iota y. Right hand side will become a minus iota bt divided by a plus b into a minus b. It is a square minus b square. But iota square is minus 1, which will make minus into plus. So we'll get denominator as a square plus b square t square. Now we know on the left hand side real part is x. On the right hand side, what is the real part? Real part is a divided by a square plus b square t square. Similarly, on the left hand side, imaginary part is y. And on the right hand side, what is the imaginary part? It is minus bt divided by a square plus b square into t square, because denominator is a real number. Now, looking at this equation, we have to eliminate t. We know what is x, we know what is y in terms of t. And our job is to get the locus of x and y, we must eliminate t. because t is a parameter. T is a parameter on which the locus of x and y will depend. So we have to eliminate this t. So looking at it, what we can do, we can square and add. After squaring and adding, numerator will become a square plus b square t square, and denominator is also a square plus b square t square whole square. So let us square and add. On squaring and adding, left hand side will become x square plus y square, right hand side will become a square plus b square t square divided by a square plus b square t square whole square of this. Now cancelling numerator with numerator, this square will be cancelled. We will have only one term in the denominator. That means x square plus y square will become 1 by a square plus b square t square. But what is a square plus b square t square? A square plus b square t square is 1 by a square plus b square t square is x by a. From this we know that 1 by a square plus b square t square is x by a. So replace this thing with x by a. That means we will have x square plus y square minus x by a is equal to 0. X square plus y square minus x by a is equal to 0. Now we have converted this complex equation to the Cartesian equation. And all of us know it is the equation of circle. It is the equation of a circle whose center is at minus g. What is minus g? 1 by 2a, comma minus f. There is no f. F is 0. So center is this. What is the radius? Radius is under root of g square plus f square, which is 0, minus c, which is also 0. So this is the radius. So the given equation is a circle whose center is at 1 by 2a and radius is 1 by 2 mod of a. So this thing is important. All of us know the under root of 4 is 2, but under root of a square is not a. Under root of a square is mod of a. Under root of a square is mod of a. That we have to take care while doing this step, because usually we do the mistake that straight away we write it as a, 2a. That is wrong, because under root of anything is never negative and under root of negative is not defined. Always you have to remember, under root of negative is not defined and under root of anything is never negative. It is always positive. To make it always positive, to make it immune from the sign of a, we have to take mod of a. So this is the answer. The x and y will lie on a circle with radius 1 by 2a and center 1 by 2a comma 0. Now here we will have two cases. First case a greater than 0 and second case a less than 0. Center is same for both the cases. In center there is no mod. Center is always 1 by 2a comma 0. But radius will change. When a is positive, then radius is 1 by 2a. When a is negative, then radius is minus 2a, minus 1 by 2a. Because radius will depend on modulus of a. Center is same. So that means we can check option A is correct. But option B is not correct, because here radius is also negative. Here radius is also negative. Sorry. Radius is okay, but center minus 1 by 2a. Center can never be minus 1 by 2a. Center is same, 1 by 2a comma 0. So this thing is wrong. If it is plus, then it would have been correct. So this is not, as it is not correct. Now we have to check whether option C is correct or not. They are saying that it will lie on x-axis for a not equal to 0 and b equal to 0. Okay. Then we will put this condition in our equation. Straight away we can put this here. Putting b equal to 0, we will have x plus iota y is equal to 1 by iota, b is 0. Then it is 1 by a. Now left hand side is a complex number, right hand side is a real number, 1 by a, because we have put b equal to 0. We are checking whether option C is correct or not. Then that means imaginary part, there is no imaginary part in the right hand side. That means imaginary part on the left hand side should be 0. Then only both complex number will be equal. Left hand side will be equal to right hand side. So y is equal to 0. If y is equal to 0, whatever is x, point will always lie on the x-axis. Now we'll check whether option D is correct or not. In option D, A is given as 0. So here in this equation put A equal to 0. We'll have left hand side is x plus iota y and A is 0. A is 0 means it is 1 by iota bt. Now it is purely imaginary and left hand side is real plus imaginary. That means real part should be 0. Then only both can be equal. That means x equal to 0. Whenever x is equal to 0, whatever is y, it will always lie on the y-axis. So option A is true, option C is true, option D is true. So what we have learned from this problem, we have learned that whenever we have no idea that what is the equation of which curve, always in complex number we can put z equal to x plus iota y and eliminate the parameter. Eliminate the parameter by squaring and adding or doing any other thing depending on what is a given equation. Depending on that, eliminate the parameter, we'll get an equation in Cartesian form. Using that equation we can solve. So now we'll move to the next problem. Now next problem came in IIT 2007. In this problem, what is given to us? It is given that a man walks a distance of 3 units from the origin towards the northeast direction. So first of all, let us draw the directions. Let us draw the directions. This is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west, right? So we have drawn the directions. Whenever we are facing east, our left hand side is north, right hand side is south, back side is this west. Whenever we are facing the east. So we have drawn the directions. Now what is given? A man walks a distance of 3 units from origin. This is origin. In the northeast direction, northeast direction means this direction which is making 45 degree with east and 45 degree with north. He moves a distance of 3 units in the northeast direction like this. He will reach somewhere here. Now from there he walks a distance of 4 units towards northwest to reach P. Now northwest is the direction which makes 45 degree with both north and west. So it moves 4 units in the northwest direction. This direction which is making 45 degree with both north and west. So this angle will be 90 degree because they both are making same angle with the lines which are perpendicular. So the angle between them is 90 degree. This is 3 and this is 4. And this final point is P. And they are asking for what is the position of P. That is position of P. P is a point. It is represented by which of the following complex numbers. 4 options are given. In every option, e power iota pi by 4 is given. E power iota pi by 4. That means we have to write the answer in e power iota pi by 4. So we'll start doing this. First of all, it is origin. First we will find out what is this position. Then from this position we will find out what is position P. How to find this position? To find a position means find the complex number which represents that point. What complex number represents this point? For this point, what is a modulus? Modulus means distance of this point from the origin. We know he has moved 3 units. That means distance of this point from origin is 3. Any complex number is r into e power iota theta. That means we should know what is a modulus, we should know what is a amplitude. If we know what is a modulus, what is the amplitude, we can write the complex number as r into e power iota theta. Now, for this complex number, r is 3. The distance of this point from origin is 3 into e power iota theta. What is theta? Theta is the amplitude of the complex number, which is the angle which the line joining this point from origin. Joining this point to the origin makes with the positive direction of real axis. So this angle is 45 degree. That means it is I pi by 4. Yes or no? So this point is 3 into e power iota pi by 4. This angle is 90 degree. Let us assume that point P is Z. The position of point P is represented by complex number Z. Now we can use the concept of rotation of complex number. How we have to rotate? we have to rotate anti-clockwise. So this direction is anti-clockwise. From here to here, this direction about this point, this direction is anti-clockwise. Now, that means with to this complex number, we'll multiply e power iota theta to get this direction. Right? So let us say one vector is this, another is this. One complex number is this, another is this. We'll rotate this one. We'll rotate this one by an angle pi by 2 in this direction, which is anti-clockwise direction. How to do this? What is this complex number? I told you any complex number is final minus initial. Any line is represented by final point minus initial point. What is a final point? Z, which you have to find. What is the initial point? Initial point is 3 into e power iota pi by 4. So it is z minus z1, final minus initial. This we have to multiply with e power iota pi by 2. E power iota pi by 2 or iota, both are same because we have to rotate it by an angle 90 degree. Whenever we have to rotate a complex number by 90 degree, we can multiply with iota. New complex number is this direction, not this direction. It is starting from this hinge point and going away. It is also starting from hinge point going away. So it will be same. Starting from hinge point and going away. So this direction is final minus initial. Final is origin and initial is this. So we can write this as 0 minus 3 into e power iota pi by 4. But we can do this whenever modulus on both the sides is same. Here modulus is on both the sides is not same. Here modulus is 4, here modulus is 3. Then what we can do? We can make both side modulus 1. How to make both side modulus 1? Divide left hand side with the modulus of left hand side. Divide right hand side with the modulus of right hand side. So both the sides we have made modulus 1. Right? Now it is only simple calculation and rearrangement. We can cross multiply. First of all, we can cancel this 3 with 3. Now we will have z minus 3 into e power iota pi by 4 is equal to 4 will go to the right hand side. It is minus 4 e power iota pi by 4. Now take this to the right hand side. Z will become 3 e power iota pi by 4 minus 4 into e power iota pi by 4. We have to take e power iota pi by 4 common. Then e power iota pi by 4 we have taken common. We will have 3 minus 4 and we have missed this I. We have missed this I. This I will go to the right hand side. It will become 1 by I. And 1 by I is nothing but minus I. Because multiplying with iota in numerator and multiplying with iota in denominator. This iota square will become minus 1. Which will change the sign. We will have this. It will become plus with I. So it is also plus with I. 4I. So we will have 3 plus 4 I. So this is Z. This is the final position of the point. So what we have done, we should know how to rotate. Rotation always we have to do about a point. And to get this direction, what we have to do? Final minus initial. Here also final minus initial. Here also final minus initial. About this point we have to rotate. So final minus initial. Here also final minus initial. And divide both the sides with their respective modulus. Because by multiplying with I, modulus will not change. Only argument will change. So to equate both the sides, we have to divide with the modulus of the term in the numerator. Then we can equate and we can find what is the missing point. Then Z is this. So compare, looking at the options, correct answer is D. Correct answer is D. 3 plus 4i into e power iota pi by 4. Right? So this is the answer. So always whenever the problem is about rotation of a complex number, we have to multiply the complex number with e power iota theta. And that direction is also very important. Anti-clockwise is positive, and also what is that vector? It is final minus initial. Always it is final minus initial everywhere. Now we'll move to the next problem. Now next problem is from IIT 2002. In this problem, what is given to us? Angle alpha is given, which is between 0 to pi by 2. A point P is given, which is cos theta comma sin theta. A point Q is given, which is cos alpha minus theta comma sin alpha minus theta. And we have to find Q is obtained from P by what we should do to P so that we get Q. What operation we should do on P to get the point Q. Before understanding this, let us mark somewhere point P and point Q. Point P is represented by a complex number which is cos theta plus iota sin theta. So it is a point which is cos theta comma sin theta. Complex number is cos theta plus iota sin theta. Real coordinate is a cos theta, imaginary coordinate is sin theta. That means this angle is theta because whenever argument is theta, that means the angle which this line makes with the positive direction of real axis is theta. So this direction is theta. What is the modulus? Modulus is x square plus y square under root. X is cos theta, y is sin theta. Then squaring and adding will get 1. So modulus is 1. Now another point is whose argument is alpha minus theta, but modulus is same 1 because there also cos square alpha minus theta plus sin square alpha minus theta modulus is 1. So but its argument is alpha minus theta. So let us say somewhere here we have Q whose argument is alpha minus theta. So it is cos alpha minus theta plus sin alpha minus theta. It is a point Q. It is a point P. Modulus is same. Modulus is same. This will lie on a circle with radius 1 and center at origin. For both modulus is 1. Now look, to get one point from another point, any number of operations you can do. Like it is like going from one place to another place. We can get like in our school, if we have 3 gates, then we can go from gate number 1, we can take somewhere left turn, then right turn, and we can reach our classroom. Similarly, we can enter from class number 2, we can take some right left turns and we can reach again our same class. Or we can get in from gate number 3 and again we can take some different turns and we can reach the same place. So it is not that only by one operation we can get one point from another point. So we have to select from the given options we have to select which one is correct. So what we have to do, one by one we have to check whether by doing this we are getting the required point or not. Because there can be many ways to reach from one point to another point. Yes or no? You go like this, first you go there, then come back, then go there, like that. There can be any number of ways. So what is option A? Option A is given as clockwise rotation about origin through an angle alpha. Clockwise rotation about origin. This is the initial point. We have to rotate. It is saying that option A is saying that clockwise rotation. Clockwise rotation means coming here in this direction by an angle alpha. If we are doing it, if we are following the instruction given in option A, where we will reach. Modulus will not change. We are only rotating. Modulus is okay. We don't want to change modulus. But what will be the new argument? Old argument is theta. And whenever we are moving clockwise, then argument is subtracted. So new argument will become theta minus alpha. In this choice, new argument will become theta minus alpha. But we don't want theta minus alpha. We want alpha minus theta. So doing this is not correct. We will not reach at the desired place. We will reach at the conjugate of this. So it is not the correct answer. Then second is anti-clockwise rotation about origin through an angle alpha. So we are here. If we are moving anti-clockwise in this direction, then what will happen? Alpha will be added to theta. So here argument will become theta plus alpha, which is also not required. We require alpha minus theta, not theta plus alpha or alpha plus theta. We want alpha minus theta, so it is also not correct. Then we have to check whether C is correct or not. What is C? C is reflection in the line through origin with slope tan alpha. So let us assume it is true and we will find out what is the reflection. If it is same point, then our answer is correct. If it is not same point, then this is also not correct. Then automatically answer D, option D is the answer. So like this, one by one we have to eliminate. Let us do whatever is given in option C. Let us do it. They are saying that a line with slope alpha. So let us say somewhere we have a line with slope alpha. So let us say this is the line whose slope is alpha, right? Slope is alpha means the angle of this line with the positive x-axis or positive real axis is alpha. So this total angle is alpha. Anywhere we can take it. Anywhere we can take it. We can take it anywhere less than theta, between theta and alpha. Anywhere we can draw this line with slope tan alpha. So this angle is alpha. Here we have assumed that it is alpha. If this is alpha and we have to take the reflection of P, this is point P, about this line which has slope alpha, then what will happen? First of all, find the angle between this line and the point P. What is this angle? Because after taking the reflection, what will happen? This angle will be same. This angle and this angle will be same, because reflection of this point about this line, we will get this, so it will be at the angle of reflection, it is same. Yes or no? This angle and this angle is same. If this is whatever is this, same will be this. So find out this. This total angle is alpha. Total angle is alpha and this is theta. Then this angle will become alpha minus theta. Here also we will have alpha minus theta. Alpha minus theta. Now what is the argument of this point? The argument of this point is alpha minus theta plus alpha minus theta plus theta. This total is argument. This part plus this part plus this part. So total argument of this point is alpha minus theta plus this alpha minus theta plus this theta. So total argument of this point is 2 alpha minus theta. But do we want the argument 2 alpha minus theta? We want the argument alpha minus theta. We will get the final argument as alpha minus theta if we are replacing alpha with alpha by 2. If we are replacing alpha with alpha by 2, we will get the final argument as alpha minus theta. That is what we want. That means instead of reflecting along a line which has slope tan alpha, we can reflect it along a line which has slope tan alpha by 2. That is, replace alpha with alpha by 2. So like this, one by one we have to eliminate the options. So try this. If you have any doubt, please put it in the comment section. We'll do it again. It is actually very easy. One time more I can draw it for you. This was angle theta, which represents point P. This angle is, let us say, Q, or leave Q. Don't draw Q because it will complicate the things. Only on P operate the operation which is given in option C. In option C they have given a line with slope alpha. So this angle is alpha. This is the line about which we will rotate, we will reflect. Now take the reflection of P along this line which has slope alpha. So we'll get somewhere here reflection. Now because of reflection, this angle and this angle is same, because they are reflecting. This is a mirror and it is a mirror image of this. So this angle and this angle is same, starting from same point. So what is this angle? This angle we can find out. Total is alpha and this one is theta. So it is alpha minus theta. Then this also alpha minus theta. Now what is the final argument of this point? Let us call it Q or Q dash. We will find whether Q dash is same as Q or not. What is the final argument of this point? This is argument plus this part. So alpha minus theta plus alpha minus theta plus theta. This is theta. So alpha minus theta plus alpha minus theta plus theta. So it is 2 alpha minus theta. But final argument we want alpha minus theta. So replace alpha with alpha by 2. That is, reflect along a line which has slope tan alpha by 2. So this is the answer. Answer is D. Now we'll move to the next problem. Now next problem is from IIT 2009. It came in IIT 2009. In this problem, what is given? A complex number z is given, which is cos theta plus iota sin theta, which has modulus 1. It is a point on unit circle with center at origin. What we have to find? We have to find a value for summation of m is from 1 to 15, imaginary part of z power 2m minus 1, where theta is equal to 2 degree. Options are 1 by sin 2, 1 by 3 sin 2, 1 by 2 sin 2, or 1 by 4 sin 2. So it is not a problem from geometry, it is a problem from de Moivre's theorem. What is de Moivre's theorem? Power will come to the angle. That all of us know. Now let us do this problem. What is z? Cos theta plus iota sin theta or e power iota theta. We have to find the value for this summation. M is from 1 to 15. Imaginary part of z power 2m minus 1. What is z power 2m minus 1? E power iota theta into 2m minus 1. So this is z. This is z power 2m minus 1. Z power 2m minus 1 is e power iota theta into 2m minus 1, where m will vary from 1 to 15. Here also m will vary from 1 to 15. Now put the values of m and expand it. Whenever m is 1, and also we have to find only the imaginary part. We have to only find the imaginary part of this. So we will only consider the imaginary part, leave the real part. For any complex number, cos theta plus iota sin theta is the imaginary part. So when m is 1, it will become 2 minus 1, 1. It is sin theta. Imaginary part is sin theta. Whenever m is 2, it is 3. So imaginary part is sin 3 theta. Whenever m is 3, it is 5. So imaginary part is sin 5 theta. It will go up to whenever m is 15. M is 15 means it is 29. So we'll have sin 29 theta. Now it is a series in sin theta where angles are in AP. So for this we need to use we can directly learn that whenever we have a series like this, sin alpha plus beta plus sin alpha plus 2 beta, angles are in AP up to n terms. Then this sum is equal to sin beta by 2, numerator is sin n beta by 2, and this is sin of alpha plus n minus 1 into beta by 2. So this is the formula we can learn, right? So apply the same formula. Instead of deriving, it is always better to learn this formula and directly apply. We can do the derivation of this also by multiplying and dividing by sin beta by 2. So putting the values here, what is beta here? It is 2 theta. And what is alpha? It is theta. So what is the answer? Sin n. What is n? 15 terms. Beta by 2. What is beta by 2? Theta. Because beta is 2 theta. Divided by sin theta. Multiplied with sin alpha plus. What is alpha? Theta. Plus n minus 1, that is 14, into beta by 2 is theta. So it is sin 15 theta into sin 15 theta divided by sin theta. What is sin 15 theta? It is 30 whenever theta is 2. Then after this what we will have? Let us write here. It is sin square 30, because sin 30 into sin 30 divided by sin 2, putting theta equal to 2. On putting theta equal to 2. What is sin 30? It is 1 by 2. So sin square is 1 by 4 into sin 2. So this is the answer. The value of this expression is 1 by 4 sin 2. Now please keep on practicing the problems at home, and you can also put your doubts in the comment section. And also please share with your friends so that they can also get the regular updates. Thank you.